All right, we are recorded. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm so ridiculously excited for Jayne Benkendorf, who is our upline. If it wasn't for this amazing woman, none of us would be here today, literally. So I don't think any of us would be, but she's absolutely a doll. She is an author. She's a mom. She's a grandma. I think you're even a great grandma, aren't you, Jayne?
Yeah, 14 times.
There you go. So she's 39 Club. She's everything I strive to be. She's absolutely a wealth of knowledge. I always go to her for extra information and to know numbers and to know everything. So I asked her to help all of us because she's so amazing when it comes to the numbers, what a qualifying means, and which is the most important part of this business. So, so I reached out to her for you all. So she is going to grace us with all her knowledge. So Jayne, bring it on, sister.
Take it away. Can you see me? Because I see you. I don't see me.
Yes.
You can see me. Okay. And I do, guys, I want you to ask questions. I'm going to open it up every now and then and say, do you have questions or comments? Because if you don't understand something along the way, then you're going to get lost for the rest of the way. So let's make sure that we have it clearly. So I'm going to share my screen. And what I'm going to show you, this is a portion of my PVC report. So there are a couple of things on here that I want you to understand. And again, if you do not know something, unmute yourself and interrupt me. I absolutely want that. But we're going to start. Let me show you the left-hand side over here. See that? Can you see my cursor on the left-hand side?
Yes.
Okay. These, just so you know what these numbers mean. These are the, like, for example, 378. That's the 378th distributor under me. So what we're going to do is look at specific ones, and we're going to start with 380. But we're going to start way over to the right side. There's a little, you can see a mark that I've made here. This is the date that the person became a distributor. So that is May the 3rd, 2009. We're going to go left. This, it says bull. I love that. Years ago, we had an actual bulletin that listed all of the people who had qualified businesses. Can you imagine doing that today? The thing would be thick. It was printed, an actual printed bulletin. So now it's just listed here. So that number 88 means that this person has been qualified, their business has been qualified for 88 months. Now then, this is, the PVC report is used for two different things. One is qualifying the business, which we're going to look at tonight. The other is promotion to your next level. We're not going there. We're just going to use the section that has to do with qualifying your business. So I'm going to go back over here now to the left on that number 380. Right above it, the next column, there's a 4, and right above it, it says lev. That means the level. That is the level under me. This person, this number 380, is the 4th generation, or the 4th level, I should say, the 4th level under me. When you look at your PVC report, you'll notice that you're a 0. So the number 1s are the people who are direct to you. So those are the ones. And then the person, if that person, number 1, has a distributor under him or her, then that person is a 2. So this person is the 4th line down under me. So let's go on over, and I've marked out the people's names and their phone number so you don't know who I'm talking about here. Now, this says SC, and at the top it says what? TTL, title. So that's what the person's title is. This person's a sales coordinator. The next column, it says title date. So this gives us the date that this person became a sales coordinator. So it was March of 2010. Now then, we're going to skip this part because it has to do with promotion to the next level. We're going to go all the way over. See that 88 again. We're going to start back at the 88. Go to the left of that. At the top of that, it says customers PV. This is really, really important. And note the date on this particular PVC report that I'm looking at is the end of October. So you always want to look at the end of the month, and you will know exactly where you are and where your team is at the end of the month. This is not after qualifiers day. This is right at the end of the month. So on this person, we have 725. That's the PV or PVC, that's the same thing, that this person has from the customers themselves. Customers, their own order plus their customers' orders, 725. Now then, we want that number to be 1,000. We hear that constantly at conference and on different calls that are made from some of the people from corporate, that we want that to be 1,000. We want to be solidly qualified or customer qualified. So we want that number to be 1,000. Let's move on over to the left. This says preferred customer count. So this person has 26 customers. The next line to the left says RN date. That's renewal date. That's 2017. So everybody's renewed for 2017, up to 2017. The next line over, we're not going to do, it says excess POB. We're not going to do anything with POB tonight, just PB. So it says October PB. This number is 952. This is excess. We can have up to 1,000 PVC right here. This is like a savings account in the bank. If we ever are below 1,000 PVC and we need to borrow some, it's like going to the bank and borrowing money. So that's what this person has done. She had 1,000 PVC at one point, but she has borrowed from it, so now it's 952. Now we're going to skip over here where it says November under number 4, November PBQ, and her number is 900. Remember that her customers, her order, and her customer's order was 725. Then how in the world did she get 900? Because here, this number absolutely must be 1,000 or you will not be qualified. We want it to be 1,000 over under our personal customers, but it isn't always. We have to use our distributors under us to help us qualify. So that's what's happened here. The difference, if you have your calculator, and I'm just going to do it so you'll see, the difference between 1,000, I'm going to put 1,000, whoops, but what, 1,000 minus 725, and that should be 275. So someplace this distributor has gotten 275 PVC, or they need 275, excuse me, they need 275 PVC to get them to that 1,000. But they have, for some reason, they have collected, let me take the 900 minus 725, they have, someplace they have gotten 175 PVC. So we can take the PVC, this is important, PVC from two sources, dealers and direct distributors. Those two people can help us qualify our business if we're not already qualified with our own customers. Virtual franchisees and above, we cannot use because now then they're using their own PVC to help them qualify and the distributors under them. So the only ones we can use are dealers and directs. So let's look at this person and see where they got that extra PVC to get their number from 725 up to 900. So over here, let's go with their number 4. Let's go to number 5 under them, which would be number 381. I hope you can see that. Line 381, that person in number 4 has a distributor under them who is a 5. But look, they're a VF. So she can't use any of the PVC from that person because they're a VF. That number 5 has a number 6 under them, a DD, but our sales coordinator cannot use that direct distributor because that DD is under that VF. That next number 6 is a DD. We can't use their PVC to help us qualify because, again, they're under that VF. Let's go down to the next one, which would be number 384 is a 5. Okay, that's directly under the 4, and that person is a DD, and that person has 87 PVC. So she can use it. Okay, let's go to the next one. There's a number 5 under there, and that person's a DD, 87 PVC, and she can use it. So when you add those two numbers together and add it onto the 725, that gives us the 900. That's where this person got the 900. Okay, I'm going to stop right here and ask, does anyone have a question or a comment? Unmute yourself and let me know.
Jade, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, it's Sally Joe.
Okay.
So based on what you just said, so since I am a VF and I have one distributor who's inactive, so even if she starts getting customers, then I will not be able to, I won't benefit by those points, those PVCs that she gets. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
No, you will. Yeah.
Oh, I will. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
you will. But the person above you cannot use your PVC or the person under you because you're a VF.
I got you. Okay.
Good question.
Thank you.
Certainly. Anybody else? Okay, guys, make sure you understand this. And remember, there is no dumb question. If you have a question, somebody else is going to have the same one. So speak up. Okay, we're moving on then. See, this person has the 900. That has to be 1,000 in order for that person to qualify. It isn't, so she's going to go over here to this 952. She needs 100 points to get to 1,000. So she's going to take 100 from this bank account and put it over here with this 900 to give her 1,000. So next month when she looks at her report, under excess PV, it's going to say then 852. So this person is going, if she doesn't get customers and distributors working, then that person will not be qualified. And once she is not, this 88 over here, 88 months, if she's not qualified for a month, it starts all over again. But we want to stay qualified first of all, with our own customers. Let's just do something. We've heard this at conference and other places that we need 24 customers on the trio to be qualified. So if I have my calculator here. If I take 24, that's the number of customers. Now, I'm going to take it times 42. Now, I hope you know where the 42 comes from. It's that we're going to use the trio, so that is the monthly installment for a trio. The PVC for a trio is 169.5. Divide that by 4, which are 4 months, 4 monthly installments, we get 42. So we're going to assume all of our customers are on the trio and they pay monthly. So what we do then, we take that 24 times 42, and it gives us 1,008. That's why it is so critical, guys, to get that 24 customers on the trio or comparable or products that gets you to that 1,000. I want to see some heads nodded if that makes sense. Okay, I see some nodding heads. Remember, 24 customers on the trio, you're one of those. So really what you need are 23. 23 customers on the trio or comparable products to get you to that solid 1,000. Okay, I'm moving on to another example. All right, this person is number 414, and she's the second line under me. So she is right under someone who is direct to me. She's in the second line, and then she has distributors under her that keep going. So we're going to keep going down until we see another 2, which would be right here. And I've marked it on the side over on the right. There are little pencil marks out to the side. So this is this person's would be this person's PVC report right here. All right. We're just going to start over here on the right-hand side. She became a distributor on July 12th of 2008. She's been in the bulletin 93 months. Look at this personal PV. What we want there is 1,000. This is almost 2,000. That's incredible. Now I know this obviously know this person, so I know there's some Tower Gardens in here, so of course that really boosts that number up when you sell a Tower Garden, but that's a one-time thing. What we want is the consistency every month of having that come in, that example like that 42 every month. Okay, look at the number of customers, 51 customers. That is a lot of customer care, guys. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of customers to keep up with and keep in touch with. And I know this person does a fantastic job of it. Okay, obviously she has the $1,000 in her bank account, or 1,000 PVC in her bank account in case she gets below that 1,000 and needs to borrow, like that other person is borrowing. Look at her PVC total for this month. Incredible. I don't know if I've ever reached that high in a month. But I know, again, that there are Tower Gardens in this, which really, it's, what is it, 300 and some PVC right at, just a big whack right at one time. So that's why this is so high. But what I want to point out here are these circles. See, there's circles here, and there's circles here, and there's circles here. These are working distributors under this person. All right, here what we're looking at is the PVC. Can you see the 315? That is the PVC from her own orders and her customer's order, 315. She has 11 customers. And again, over here, it's just 315 because notice she's a number 3 and she doesn't have a 4 or doesn't have distributors under her. So she's working by herself at this point. She has no distributors. But I want to show you something here. Let's take that 11 customers, and let's just assume they're all on the trio. So we're going to take that 11 now times 42. We know it's 42 per month. That's 462 PVC. 11 customers times 42, 462. If her 11 customers had all been on the trio, instead of 315 PVC, she would have 462. I'm just pointing out here, one thing is the significance for us as distributors and what it means to our pocketbook, but guys, more importantly than that is what that trio does for the customer. That vineyard blend, absolutely so important. So we want, if at all possible, and I know it's not possible all the time, if at all possible, we want them on the trio for their health's sake. So I'm going to move on down and point out another one here. This one, where's my cursor? Right here. Let's take this number, 17 customers. Let's take that 17 times 42. If all of those 17 customers were on the trio, that instead of 452, it would be 714. I hope you're seeing the impact that this makes. All right, let's move on down here. This one has 12 customers and 790. Okay, let's do some math here. 12 times 42 equals 504. So if all 12 of those were on the trio, she would have 504, but she has 790. So where did that come from? Somebody open up and tell me where that came from. Okay, guys.
I'm on, everyone. I'm noisy, but it's from complete, is my guess.
Say that again, Christina.
Complete. A lot of her customers probably do trio plus a box of complete.
Could very well be. Could very well be complete added to the trio. It could also be a tower garden. It's extra orders on top of the trio. Absolutely great numbers there. And then notice over here on the left side, the left circle is 831. That means then that she got to use some PVC from a distributor or two. Let's see. Here's a 4. She's a 4, and there's a 5 under her, and that 5 is a dealer, so she gets to use that 42 PVC. So we take 790. That's her personal PVC plus, what was it, 42? 832. There it is. She got to add that 42 to hers because that person under her at this point is a dealer.
Gotcha.
Remember, dealers and directs we can add to our personal PVC. Okay, I've pretty well explained how to use this portion of the PVC report and how to use it to determine what you need in order to be qualified. Because you can take these numbers and add to it trio orders or whatever type of orders you see that you need to get, and then you'll know what you need to do in order to be qualified. So I'm going to, everybody, I'd really like for you to open up and give me your comments, your questions. I really want to hear from you.
I have a question, Jane.
Yes, who is this, please?
This is Sally Joe.
Okay.
Okay, so I print my reports, and my PVC reports only tells me what I have, because I do have a distributor, but she's inactive. So I don't have anything that's going to look like that. Is that correct? Because I don't even see anything like that. When I get my reports, it doesn't, she's not on a list anywhere for me to look at.
Right.
So is that normal?
Yes, if you have to have a distributor who has at least one order in order to see a report like this. Yes.
So, but is that in addition to her own order, because she has her own orders?
Normally it will show up because you can see on here a lot of people have just one customer and it's normally themselves.
Okay. All right, so I got it.
Okay.
Jane, would that be the difference between the PVC report and the customer genealogy report? I didn't realize till the other day like what a difference those two are. This is the customer genealogy report, right? Or no? Or distributor?
No, this is the PVC report. Absolutely, PVC report.
Okay. I get confused between the two of what I'm looking at.
Okay. Gosh, Christina, I'm so glad. This is Christina, right?
Yes.
I'm so glad you asked that. The genealogy it's just like you check your genealogy, you know, where your background, your ancestors. You see a bunch of names there and addresses and phone numbers. See here, there are no addresses. And you will see a next ship date. And because that's what you will see on a genealogy report. And that's how you use it. Absolutely, you want to use that to see when your customer's next ship date is so you can notify them and let them know.
Gotcha.
Okay, and so that's the purpose of the genealogy.
Okay.
And you will see what they ordered. When the next shipment goes out, you will have their phone number, their address, and so forth. Yes.
Okay, one more question on that then. Will that, Jane, so say I have a distributor who actually has some customers underneath them, but they are not active. Will that genealogy report, that's a good place where I can go and actually follow up with those customers kind of on my own, checking on them?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Yes. In fact, if I were to print out my whole genealogy report all the way, it'd be pages and pages and pages. So what I do is just take the section that applies to me and print it. I always print mine off. And every Monday I go through, I've marked the ones that are due to ship. And every Monday I go through and contact them and let them know. You absolutely want to do that, guys. Let me just confess here. I did not do that in the beginning. I thought everybody's going to be excited about Juice Plus, and that I don't need to remind them and tell them when their product ships, because they're going to take it every day just like I do. Well, we know that doesn't happen.
Right.
And you certainly don't want a product to ship and they're not ready for it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any question about this? Because I'm going to take it off if there's no question about this.
No,
Okay.
I'm good. Thank you for that.
Yes. Anybody else? Well, all right. I'm just going to stop sharing so I can see Sally Joe.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. Stacy, I think I've explained it. I hope everyone understands.
No,
Say, Jane,
Yes.
I had a question. I think it was at conference, they had mentioned that on our reports that the distributors that are not active anymore, I've had some for several years. I've been trying to get them off, and they keep saying, well, they have to call the company or email the company, and they won't do it. So, I keep getting them listed, and one of them has a customer under her, so when is that going to happen? I know they said they were going to start eliminating some of that.
I know that. It seemed to me like it was March. Stacy, do you remember, or anybody else remember?
No, not the exact date. I don't remember that.
No, I know that it's coming up, and people absolutely have to renew on their date that they became a distributor. If they don't, they will be eliminated. So guys, make sure that you sign up, you renew, and that your distributors under you know that to renew.
Okay.
No, it's a really good thing that, there's two ways to look at it when it comes to that. Is I always reach out, like a couple people on that report that you had up. If they have one order under them, they have 42 points. You really have to ask them, are you getting everything that you want out of this business? Are you doing, when you signed up and maybe they're just offsetting their cost? You guys, if you have one trio order under yourself, you're really not saving much money. Now, if you have maybe two and some shakes, absolutely. But between your virtual office and stuff, you really have to look at that and make sure they're getting what they want out of it. Because when they're receiving, let's say, their one trio, maybe $5 a month or something like that, right? Off their one trio, they're keeping their distributorship, but it's not really, they're not happy with it, right? Because they're not making really much money back on it between their fees for their distributorship and for their website. So really think about just asking, especially when it comes to the new year, reach out to everybody. If they have one or two customers, or I have one distributor that it's not even her order that's under her. She has one order and it's not even hers. Okay. Because the thing is, you don't want a bunch of people on your list that's just not active whatsoever. Now it's fine if they are happy to have one or two orders under them, and that's perfectly fine, right? Because that's what we're here for, and you never know where that's going to go. And if it's to offset their own cost and they're happy with that, perfect. But most of the time, if you ask them, do you want me to just do you want to cancel your distributorship and I can take care of you as a customer? You would love to take care of them as a customer, right? Because they're not doing enough of it to really do the business, to supplement any income, pay for their own Juice Plus or whatever. So think about that too, especially ones that have been in it for a long time. If they have one customer under them, at the new year, reevaluate with them and just find out, hey, is this, would you want to do more? Would you love to reach out to a couple more people? I'd love to help you, if not, are you satisfied with that? Or would you like to be a customer? Would you like me to, just put you under me as a customer where I can take such, great care of you, right? Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
So I know some people are new and stuff and don't have that, but for a lot of the seasoned ones that have been in it for a long time, I know I have a lot that I have to reach out to at the new year. And first of all, it increases your retail sales profit. Okay. It also checks and sees, are they happy where they are? Have things changed in their life and we haven't reached out to them yet?
Right.
There's just a lot to it that just think about that as New Year comes. And that's what's fun is like, it's a new year. How are things going? Business is great. I'm just checking on you, those kind of things. But qualifying is, literally the most important. A lot of people look for VF and then they hit sales coordinator, but that being qualified is literally the most important part. Jane, just explain just a tad, even though you went over the numbers, will you explain just a tad why that's so important about qualifying?
Definitely. When one time I looked at my income and realized that at least 85%, maybe more, 85% of my income comes from that 5%. Guys, that is so important. So important. When you have distributors under you, you make, when they reach direct distributor and above, you get 5% off of everything they do. That is huge, huge, huge. Yeah, you want to be qualified.
Yeah, it's a lot of times, you guys, it's money that's left on the table. That, you know, when she talks about 85% of her paycheck, she's talking thousands of dollars. She's not talking. So when you guys are when summer's just starting up, you know, qualifying, they may make an extra $50 off their paycheck, you know, or let's say they don't have a distributor yet and they're qualified. That is still absolutely awesome, because you want to be solidified as a qualified distributor on your own is really what we all should strive to do. And then from there, you know, you help the next people. So then when, let's say Sally Joe, you just got a new distributor, right? Or your distributor you're talking about? Okay. I'm lip reading and I'm not good.
Sorry.
You know, another thing, Stacy, this is the company average. For every qualified business that we have under us down through 5 generations, that makes, for you, let's say you have, for every qualified business you have under you down through that 5 generations, for every one of those, you make $250 a month. You just start putting the numbers to that. Yeah. Okay. So like say a 39 club. Well, let's do, what are you, Stacy? 24 right now? Okay, let's just take somebody else. Oh, let's just take the 100 club. Why not just go up there really big and see? 100, well, that's kind of easy to figure. 100 times 250? How about 25,000 a month?
What? Oh my God. Sorry, I thought I was muted.
You guys, that is just qualifying. That's just
Yeah.
5%. That's not the 4% POB. That's not the bid, the incentive bonus. That's all that is 5%. When we talk about qualifying, it's one of those things that you're just like, oh my gosh, it's huge. Like we take sales coordinator, we're like, we shower. But really, the big thing is qualifying your business. It truly is the big part.
Yeah.
So no, it's true. Like, hey, who wants to make $25,000 a month?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just qualifying your business with that 5%. Like you said, that's not the bid money. That's not the 4% promote out bonus. That's, that's just the 5%.
Just 5. So when she's talking about somebody, so let's just say that one distributor that she's talking about that is 100 Club. Okay. What if they miss their qualification by 50 points? Okay, I've actually seen this on a PVC report that they missed it or whatever, because you're right, you have all your team going on. 1,000 points, all you need. And I've actually seen a PVC report where it wasn't 100 Club, but it was, I don't know, like 50 or something. But you just think about that. They're missing, their check is probably usually like $50,000 a month or something. All of a sudden, because they missed being qualified, they just missed out on $25,000 in that month. Crazy. I know, right? Christine,
have you really seen that, Stacy, that someone missed when they were, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was actually at Q school. I don't remember what club. It was a really high club though. And I'm talking, they missed out on thousands of dollars. I think it was more like 10 or 12,000 because they just, they weren't paying attention. Like, it's crazy. I mean, it's not that hard, but you just, So,
oh my goodness. So you guys, keep up with that PVC report. Make certain you know where you are every month, and the people, the working people under you, make certain you know where they are to work with them to help them get there.
And I do always say at the end of the month, if you have any team under you whatsoever, make sure you go on and just check. I mostly go on and look at most of my team and just go through that. But make sure you're also doing that, because you letting your team know, hey, even if they're 300 points away from qualifying, I'm still letting people know how close they are and how amazing that is. Okay.
Yes.
Because if it is 2 days before qualifying, I'm a pusher, and I'm the kind of like, hey, if you want it, you could totally qualify. That's my personality. So if somebody's 300, don't ever just give up and say, oh, let them know. And it's something that can totally happen. And it's so huge. Christina, sorry, I know you had a question.
No, it's fine. Okay, so I have 2 questions. Because numbers is definitely what I need to know better. So, my first question is, Jane, you said the 5% that you get, so like I've been qualified business, so that means I get 5% off of the DDs and above. Are those only the people that are directly to me, or does that include their downline? And the second part of that question is 5% of what? Like, what is that 5% number that I'm calculating or looking at, or like, what is that?
Okay, you get 5% off of people under you down through the 5th generation. Okay, now, and a generation is a qualified business. You may have 13, 15, 20 distributors, however many, and in a single line we're talking about. You keep going until you reach that 5th qualified person, and you get paid 5% off of all of those. Oh, Lordy, I'm trying to think, what is that 5% on? All of a sudden, I can't remember. Oh. Well, it has to be on the PVC. Yeah.
I would think it's the PVC, but I'm trying to figure out like what that like the way I know it is like, okay, I know a trio, I get my retail sales profit and my commission off of that. And so then I'm trying to figure out like, how do you figure out what 5% off of a PVC is versus like, we just know each product, you know what I mean? Am I totally lost and
you know what? All of a sudden, I am totally. It went blank on that. I will get that for you.
Okay.
And
that's really always been my question of like 5% of what and 4% of what. Like when you get, like I know that I'm POB, but that doesn't really benefit me per se right now. It's more benefiting mom, my upline. But then there's a certain point where suddenly I start getting the 4%. I think it's maybe when I get a sales coordinator myself.
Yes. That's when you start counting your PVC for the 3,000 that qualifies you for promote out bonus.
Right. Okay. But
And
still getting 4%. I'm like, how do you calculate 4%? So like, what does that equate to?
For some reason I went blank. I will get that, and I will post it on One Team Strong. Thank you for that question.
Yes. Yay.
Awesome. Do you guys have any other questions?
Or comments? Anybody have comments?
Comments still?
Yeah, I was wondering, so if you do have somebody with 700 PVC and they only need 300 more, how many orders is that going to be?
Okay. Now, who is this?
This is Linda.
Linda. Okay. So they need 300 PVC. So let's just take, for example, the trio, which I always like to use that as base. So what we take that 300, divide it by the 42, and it'll tell you 300 divided by 42, that's just over 7 customers.
Okay.
When they pay monthly, and you want everybody to pay monthly.
Right. So the 42 again is?
That's the monthly PVC that comes through. That's that's what's paid on each month on a trio.
So it's the total of that trio's PVC divided by 4?
That's right. It's the 169.5 divided by 4.
Right.
You got it.
Yep.
The other thing, if I can chime in on that, because I am always trying to look at that, the benefit of the trio is being able to, we always have to do the 4-month, divided to figure that out. But like my complete, whenever I sell complete, I always sell it as a whole box, paid in full, because I always equate it to going to the grocery store. So if you have somebody that's not, that close to qualifying, then I might look at instead and say that's 5 paid in full boxes of complete, so maybe if they can get 3 boxes of paid in full complete and then a couple of trio orders or things like that, you can figure that in with, that's pretty much the only thing I ever have anybody do pay in full, but it gives you a good chunk a little quicker. but it's always making them know that means next month, anything you do pay in full, you're going to be that much deficient the next month to get qualified. So that's why it's important we don't do a bunch of pay in fulls, but it is an option if you're trying to, you know, get there, and then that they're fully aware to do that again the next month. They want to get more trio orders for the consistency.
And that's a good point, Christina. And Linda, know that anytime there's a pay in full, whether it's just a one-time order or it's reorder pay in full, that all of that PVC a person gets at one time, and then like Christina said, the next 3 months you get nothing. If it's like the trio, for example.
Right.
That's why we like that monthly payment, if possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions before we end? All right,
Nope.
I'm going to go ahead and end